Welcome back, everybody. This episode, we're going to be starting with the race to October with the Mets who have a chance to stun all the doubters and punch a ticket to the postseason. The Yankees who are about to win the AL East and its World Series or bust. Then we're moving on to the 100-yard dash with the Giants' big win on Sunday, the Jets' big win on Thursday, and the Backbones Patriots looking into week 4. And, of course, the Fantasy Feud, the fastest fantasy minute of your life, SOB of the week, and more. Let's get into it. What up, my dude? How you doing?
What's going on, man?
Not much, brother. How you feeling? This is a big, big week for you, pal.
This is probably the biggest week of the Mets' career right now. It's pretty wild going up.
All your life in the recent memory. Being a Met fan.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I don't remember.
Right? Since 2015, I haven't felt hype like this around the Mets.
I mean, the mere fact that we were, way below 500 before the All-Star break and just totally turning it around and being at this point, battling. And again, I'll be the first one to admit it in the beginning of the year, I didn't think we were a playoff team. So they way over exceeded my expectations right now. So
yeah, no one thought they were a playoff team. Not just you. It's all the analysts in the world had the Mets under 80 games. They think they just went over the over/under of win totals for the season. They are doubting the doubters with no Lindor for the last 2 weeks. 2 weeks?
I would say, yeah.
Give or take, right?
Yeah.
Seriously, they have Acuna. Excuse me. Acuna coming up, playing some sick baseball, taking right over for Lindor. And it's really right now to me for the Mets. I'm just going to give it to you. They better make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously it all comes down to this one series. I mean, it's in our hands right now because if we do sweep the Braves, I'm pretty certain it's done.
Sweep?
Obviously,
you're talking
no.
That was,
yeah,
that was a little aggressive to just come out right away and say if we sweep the Braves. Yeah, if you win, if you win 2 out of 3.
I started the sentence with if.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I didn't say we were gonna. That's a different story. That's a different story. But even if we take 2 of 3, then really we only need to win 1 game because right now we're 2 games ahead of the Braves.
I was under the impression. Sorry, I was under the impression that if they win 2 of 3 of the Braves, they clinch a ticket to the postseason.
That would mean that we're 3 games up. Oh no, that would mean that we're 4 games up because we're 2 games up right now. Yeah, no, you're 100% right. Yeah, okay. So all we would need to do, you're 100% right. So forget the sweep. If we win 2 games,
2 out of 3,
it is all over. And not even that. I mean, we're right behind the Diamondbacks. So, I mean, we might even be getting the second wild card. Right now, we're tied with the Diamondbacks for the second place wild card. So, and again, like you said, Lindor being on the shelf, he isn't playing tonight. Today is Tuesday, September 24th, game 1 against the Braves.
What I did just hear though that he is available off the bench, so that is great news.
Oh wow, I didn't even see that. But but like you said, I mean, this freaking kid Acuna, and he's been honestly tearing up the ball since the call up. Everyone said it. His brother even said it that he's gonna be better than him. And I don't know if you saw like a couple photos, but they obviously had a family reunion before the game. They both had an off day yesterday, I believe. So they got together, they hung out, and now they're gonna go right at each other. So I mean, this is gonna be really interesting.
Cool. Really, really cool.
Yep. And I mean, the mere fact that we got to this point, this series before this with the Phillies, I mean, taking 3 of 4 from the Phillies was also humongous. Like, in all honesty, that might have been the bigger series. I know, like current to date, we need to win these games, but if we don't take 3 or 4, we're not sitting in this position right now, and we're sitting in a less comfortable position. And
absolutely,
scoring 10 runs in that first freaking Phillies game really making a statement on them. I know they did beat us. I believe that was game 3. They crushed us.
Yeah,
but again, they only won 1 game. We looked great. And I think we set a franchise record. I don't know if you saw it, but we scored 10 runs in 3 consecutive games. So
Yep,
it
I
was the
seen that.
first time the Mets have ever done that. So the Mets are
With
hot
no
right now
With no Lindor.
with no Lindor.
That's
That is
huge,
true.
bro. That is so huge to even say and mention.
Yeah. So I mean I believe that was the conclusion of them being so like cautious behind Lindor because of the position that we're in. I know it's crunch time, but the guy is obviously hurting because I know
Yeah.
Lindor. Like I don't know Lindor personally, but I just know that if that guy's healthy, he's out there. Like we
Uh-huh.
see it. He's
Year in and year
looking at
out.
the
He
season.
doesn't have that. He doesn't have days off.
Exactly. So I mean, this guy is hurt. We need to be cautious with him because we are going to need him for playoffs, and we cannot risk an injury to him going into it. So
When
it's
I heard that he was available off the bench tonight, it made me feel a lot better that he didn't start this series because if I was really looking at it like, okay, they're holding Lindor off till the Braves. Once the Braves series starts, Lindor's in. And then when I didn't see him in the lineup today, I said, holy shit, this is bad. You know, this is really bad. This is worse than I thought it was. And I think the fans might have felt the same way. And then to hear he's available off the bench, it makes you say, okay, I don't know if they just did that for a tactic you might see tonight. If it's a close ball game and there's a spot for him or something like that, you'll see, you know?
yeah. I mean, for sure. I mean, again, hopefully he's ready and healthy. Don't want to push him, but like you said, if it's a big spot, I obviously wouldn't mind him stepping up to the plate. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
Definitely a classy job by the Met fans. I'm gonna give them I'll give them their flowers first before I abuse them. To give them their flowers, the way that when Pete had his first at bat the other night, the last home game of in Citi Field for the season, if they don't make it to the playoffs, and the way that the fans stood up and gave Alonso that round of applause and really showed him that, we love you, man. And if you do leave and you do go somewhere else, that just know that the Met fans had your back and love you.
Yeah, and you definitely don't see that a lot in New York. New York fans tend to be very petty. So yeah, I mean,
they will be petty, I think, later on if it doesn't work out. But in this moment, they gave him what he deserved.
And as much as we all love Pete Alonso, we also fully understand that like he may not be the answer to our future. So I think that's why it's so mutual.
Yeah, and in my eyes, it was Pete's last regular season game in Citi Field. That's why I say I don't think he's a Met going forward.
Well, I mean, if we make playoffs, it won't be, but yeah.
Well, no, that's what I just said. That's why I said regular season.
Regular season. Okay, I missed that. Yeah.
I don't see him signing it. If the Mets go on a run and he is big postseason and stuff like that, my mind might change a little bit, but I don't think.
Well, if he has a big season, if he has a big playoffs, then he's going to get a much bigger contract than what we were already offering him. So I doubt that we're signing him if he does. So
money's not.
And again, I'm not going to be rooting for his downfall just to get a cheap deal out of him. So
of course not.
But yeah, what do you got with the Yankees? Big week for you as well.
Definitely a big week for the Yanks as well. They're in the postseason, which is great, but they solidified themselves on having a great season. They did what they needed to do to get back to the actual season, because we all know that playoff baseball in New York is the only actual season. With one more win against the Orioles in the next 3 days, they clinched the American League East for the first time since 2022. Completely amazing to be back in this spot, and they are better all around as a team. Their future around that infield is definitely up. They have better players at each position. Soto and right, Judge and center. Baseball hasn't seen that since Roger Maris and Mickey Mantle. Think about what I just said. Since Roger Maris and Mickey Mantle, you haven't seen that. Soto and Judge back to back. All right. If they give him the spot in the playoff, if they actually pitch to him, he has to earn his pinstripes now, because you're a great regular season player. But once we get to that postseason, you have to be Judge. You got to do what you got to do to earn those pinstripes. And I feel like this might be the run because of Soto. We have a third baseman that we have confidence in with some speed and hopefully can make some good contact. He definitely makes things happen, right? We have a catcher who is probably top 3 AL Rookie of the Year, possible AL Rookie of the Year. A healthy Stanton, a reassigned bullpen with Weaver doing the job as a closer for the last week. Cole, Heel, Rodon, Stroman, Schmidt. You have starters there that can get some outs. Right? Quality outs. It's now or never. It's now or never with the Yanks. It might be a one and done for Soto. And it's time to shine. Go out there, beat the Baltimore Orioles. Beat them. I say beat them tonight. Like you said, we're recording this on Tuesday night. Go out there, win the East tonight. Hopefully, when you're listening to this, they all popping champagne again with the AL East. They deserve it. And see what you could do in the playoffs. That's where the Yankees are made.
I mean, so you guys obviously had a tremendous first half of the season, and now the second half of the season, you guys had a good second half of the season, not taking anything away, but it definitely did like start dipping. Are you as confident right now than you were obviously in the beginning of the season? Like,
without a doubt,
differences there.
Without a doubt, you have Glaber hitting the ball. You have Rodon that kind of worked through some of his jitters. You have Cole that has as many reps all season as he's going to get. That's what Cole needed because he missed a lot of the beginning of the season. So Cole is probably the best you're going to see him in 2024. Like I said, Wells, he just had a little bit of a slump, but he's coming out of it. You got Jazz Chisholm to make moves, who's like definitely a big character here in New York. That Chisholm, like, Josh Hart was at the game today, like at the Yankee game today. Like, people are coming out there to see the Yanks, to see, and Chisholm feels that. He feels that. He didn't have that in Miami. So I think when the lights are bright, you're going to see these guys show up. But it's going to be up to those names. It's going to be up to the Glabers, the Volpes, the Wellses, because you know what happens in the playoffs. They're not going to – if Judge is up with a runner on second base, I don't think you're going to see them really pitch to Judge. I think you're going to see them pitch around Soto. A lot of what the Mets did to us early in the season. They're going to play that type of baseball because if you look at the Yankees, how do you beat them? You stay away from Soto and Judge, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how you beat them. You stay away from Soto and Judge. And with this new bullpen reconfigured, it showed some life the last few weeks. It's not, I'm not giving you a very small sample size, but it has showed some life. So that I'm feeling really good, to be honest.
So you're feeling more beginning of the season vibes than second half of the season vibes?
Yeah, I'm feeling like it's all coming together. Like it's a very long season, so you're always going to have a lull. And I always talk about when we're in that lull, I always talk about this is what you have to learn from. This is what we're doing bad. This is why we're doing it bad. You know what I mean? We have to get out of that. If you don't have that lull, like we didn't for a few years in a row where we made the playoffs with ease and sat everybody. Like, I think Judge might have played the most games this year as a Yankee consecutively. Like, he had very few days off. Soto brought a new character to that. Because, like, without Soto, the Yankees probably give Judge that day off all the time and everything else. You know what I mean? It's the first time you've seen that these guys are going out there and playing every day. And I believe in that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, especially the big guys, just like we spoke about before with Lindor. I mean, if you don't have your key players, you really need other players to step up. I mean, thankfully we did, but not all the time. That doesn't happen all the time. So
that's where I'm at with the Yanks, man. So it's now or never, and I'm looking forward to the next few months. I'm really ready for a long ride.
That's good. I just wanted to actually bring up one point about the Mets because obviously we're talking about the Yankees, but non-Subway Series, the Mets drew 88,000 fans to Citi Field over the weekend, the Saturday and Sunday, which is the largest non-crowd Subway Series ever. So the hype behind the Mets is real. I don't know if they were.
No, don't start. Please don't say the hype behind the Mets is real. You guys just got abused for nobody being in the stands, Gary, Keith, and Ron calling out all the fans. Nemo.
When was this?
Just a week ago, 2 weeks ago, a week ago. It was a pennant race. This was just happened. Nemo had to get on the microphone and literally say, Nemo had to literally get on the microphone and say, "Can you guys please come and fill the ballpark? Can you come and fill the ballpark?"
You are totally misquoting it. And
you got we need you.
And that game, it was raining.
Sold out. Then the next day it was sold out, and the place was friggin' powerful. I get it. I get it.
All right. So one, weather plays a part in park attendance. So it was a bad weather game. So I don't know what one game has to do with anything, but the Mets,
bro, the announcer said, we're a pennant race here, and there's nobody here. It wasn't a rainy night. Don't give me excuses.
You're talking about one game, though.
No, it was that beginning of that series. I wish I came a little bit more prepared with my info on that, but like that was pathetic.
I mean, you could say it's pathetic, but I mean, I definitely did not hear anything, and I watched the games. I don't see an empty crowd at all. So talking about one game,
Keith and Ron. You didn't know about what Gary, Keith, and Ron when that just happened.
Yeah, but you're talking about one game. You didn't. Yeah. They didn't say all these games they're not coming to.
No, they didn't say all these games, but
exactly, it was one game.
Yeah, it wasn't just one. Baseball. It wasn't just one game. He was like, nobody was here.
It's baseball. When it's a bad weather game on a freaking weekday, you're going to get less people.
After he said that, the next day, they were like, everybody, please come. After a huge walk-off win.
I don't know. I didn't hear anything about begging for fans.
Yeah,
I think that you're getting carried away there.
No, I'm not. You could go.
I heard Nemo's thing at the end when he was on the field talking on the mic.
Yeah,
I heard that. He was not anywhere close to say that. He was hyping up the crowd.
You have the quick thing is. You could bring it up. That's what he said. That's something on the lines of that. That's what he said.
I don't even know how I would.
No, it's all right.
It would take.
Google it, people, if you don't believe me. But that's what was said. I thought it was pretty funny. But let's move on and bring in Mike from Bayonne for the 100-yard dash. Boom, boom.
No! Come on now.
You guys got so crazy after Thursday night that you were like, fire that thing up. I need to talk to the backbone. I need to get on there. And you guys dropped the hammer. I absolutely love the episode of the debate with the Jets and the Pats.
Been waiting to have that conversation for 29 years, Charles. Been waiting for that night, and I finally got it, and I'm not letting up.
And I definitely don't let up, but I definitely don't want to hear you sitting there saying that they're the little brothers now. You do not want to hear that because you're too smart. Like you are too smart as a human. Like I put you up on the list. Like you are smart. You're book smart. You got to where you are in life from being smart. You know that was just a troll move because you're still the Jets.
We're gonna see. If you think that was a minor troll move, you should hang on tight for the next 5 to 10 minutes. Look, we all saw it. We all saw it, Drew. Come on, we saw it. Look,
we definitely did. No, I was gonna say, I think we should just let Charles go first, and then we'll get into it. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Let me go because we woke up and I was like, "Ooh, it's Sunday and Giants have a football game." Right? You're like, no, it was Sunday again. I was starting to like think like maybe we should just skip this day in the week. Maybe we should just.
I don't have any sort of feed or anything. I got stuck watching I get stuck watching one game that they give me every week, and it was Giants Browns, and I couldn't be more pissed off.
Right, and then right kickoff, right, boom, right, catches,
fumble.
Fumble game is. I'm like, we're like, are you freaking
insane?
And how do you put the kid Gray back in there? How do you put that kid back on special teams? He dropped the ball last year. How many times?
Yeah, this isn't his first occurrence, right? Yeah.
Why? Like, why keep running him back out there? There's nobody else that could catch the freaking ball. But it was a hell of a game. It was a hell of a Sunday for the Giants. They were pretty serious underdogs. They got out there and they had themselves a day. Right?
Yeah, they got it done. Have
a day, right? That's the name of my fantasy football team. Have a day. That's exactly what they did. They went out there and they had it. It was ugly in the beginning. Jones looked like he threw another interception, and the luckiest flag so far of the season comes out with a roughing the passer. That was away from the play. Once again, right? Those flags that are away from the play comes up, and it looked like Cleveland was going to go up 2 scores, and they did it. They didn't. After he looked like he threw the interception, the Giants settled in. Jones settled in. Jones started to look a little bit more comfortable. I mean, I think it was like oh shit, like, am I really going to be this bad again this week? And then like, no, I'm not. I'm going to be that guy, right? I'm going to be that guy. That's what I'm going to be. Neighbors definitely made Daniel Jones look better than he was.
That kid is awesome, man.
He definitely showed why we drafted him when we drafted him. What else do I got here? How insane is Neighbors though? Like, I don't want to get on too high. I don't want to get too high on my horse about him, but he looks like Plax did kind of to me, like that he could go and make that bad Eli Manning pass look like a good pass, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, finally Daniel Jones has his security blanket, so
that's really what it is. Not even like security blanket, yes, but at the same time, when has Daniel Jones ever had that guy where pressure's on, pockets closing, and you can just say F it and give him a shot at one because he's one-on-one deep? But he's never had that, you know what I mean? And now he's got that in this kid. This kid goes up and gets him.
Which is definitely something that the Giants have been missing since OBJ.
Yeah, right? For sure.
That's a fact. But then the second half, Jones kind of got back to like his old self,
My franchise quarterback.
Yeah, I was waiting for that earlier. I was giving you the button when I was giving him his flowers. Give me that. Let me hear that one more time.
That's my franchise quarterback.
Yeah,
that is so fantastic. But then Jones goes out there and makes a throw to Neighbors. Can you bring that up for me, Backbone? It's on the sheet. Jones goes out there and makes a throw to Neighbors in the back of the end zone to solidify everything that we're talking about. It was holy shit, right? Holy shit that we could actually win a game. The Giants defense came in, shut down Watson, sacked 8 times. Dexter Lawrence came up big, had a huge day. Kayvon had a big day finally. Burns showed his face. Like, defense looked like the defense. Here's that play.
Took a smack too.
Took a friggin' shot. Look at this.
Is that Myles Garrett? That is Myles Garrett.
Yeah, took a shot. By Myles Garrett. One more time. Boom, pass to the back of the end
zone. In the pocket. Look,
touchdown, man. Giants. And it wasn't the greatest throw.
No, but it got to where it needed to be. I mean, dude, they're going to be a weird team. I told you last week, or I'll tell you again, they're going to be a weird team all year for you guys, man. They're going to win games they're not supposed to win in Cleveland, and you muff the opening kick and you win. That's insane.
Yeah, insane. For real, right?
Insane,
for real. They had a good defense. They had a good defensive plan going. Dable kind of had like back-to-back my SOB of the weeks. First, it was Holmes. He lost his job. Then the next back-to-back, I had last week, I had Dable as my son of a bitch of the week, and he turned it around. And he did. He turned it around. But lot more to do for the Giants. They got in the second half. They just got like, okay, we're up. We're going to play conservative. We're going to hold that lead. We're going to run the ball. We're not going to. They became very predictable in the second half with the plan, and they got right back to it. Like, you know what I mean? So that's where I'm like getting a little bit worried because if they don't get lucky in that they missed that shanked field goal, maybe you're thinking otherwise. Maybe the game doesn't end the way it ends, right? We gave them opportunities to get back. So
they got a short week this week, right?
Short week, and they're going after the Cowboys, you know. So if they want that win to mean anything, you have to go out there and beat the Cowboys.
I think this game will be for who has the worst contract.
What do you mean?
Daniel Jones or Dak Prescott?
Oh.
It's literally the battles of the bad contracts.
Yeah, but stop talking about Daniel Jones's bad contract, because at the time that the contract came out, there was really not much other things for the Giants to do besides give this kid some money because he won a playoff game. We were in that situation. I really don't want to hear that's a bad contract because I believe that we could get out of it after next season, right? Is it this season?
Yeah, but you're paying him $40 million this year.
No, he's making a lot of money.
So that's a bad contract, right?
Yes, but at the time when they had to give it to him, He was going to go out there and get that from somebody else.
Was he?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
That's something we can never really solidify because you never know. You really don't.
Yeah, at the time, I believe he would have went out there and got something.
If the Falcons couldn't get Kirk, yeah, they might have paid Daniel. You never know.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but again,
listen, the Giants had a great game on Sunday, and that's the only thing that we really could care about, right? I can't go back in time and switch contracts and do this, that, and the other thing. Yeah, do I wish?
Don't let him get to you, Charles.
Do I wish Ben McAdoo had his he wanted Mahomes? I heard rumblings that McAdoo wanted Mahomes.
Did he
do not let him get to you? This is a Giants win week for you. Giants win week for you. It ain't gonna be a lot this year.
No, there is no getting to me because the Giants don't have me sucked in yet. Like I know what they are. I know what they are as a team. I do know that it's any given Sunday, and that when the bell rings, when hell's bells goes off, that they could win a football game now. I have a little bit more confidence there that they could get out there and win a football game.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, yeah. This Sunday at the very least should show you and tell you that if the coaching is there, they can sneak some out that they shouldn't. And they'll win some games that they shouldn't. And if the coaching's there, that is by far, the biggest concern with any organization that has a plethora of talent. You have no coaching and go nowhere.
Are the Phillies blowing everybody off the doors, making everybody excited? No. Can they get back to it? Yeah. Washington played a good game last night, but they're obviously beatable. The Cowboys
obviously beatable.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
They look pretty good. We're gonna see what that kid ends up being. I
don't know what you're saying, but they haven't punted the ball in freaking 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good football team.
They're the only team that's ever done that in
they might be leading the division and looking.
I think they might end up winning it.
They could. They could go out there, but a Washington football team that doesn't even have a freaking name, they're really gonna scare me right now. No,
that
was
like 2 years ago. They have a name now.
Oh, what's the name?
The Commanders.
I don't even have a team. That's not even a name. The Commanders.
I heard they're trying to bring the Redskins. The
Redskins
back. Oh my god, I almost forgot what their team name was for a second.
So with Dable, you just need him to do what he did in the first half. He showed his Dables, and he coached some football. So get out there. What do you got to really lose? Like, I hate the conservative play because.
Well, you're not a team that can play that way. You're right about that. If you're up in a game, especially at halftime, especially against the Browns in Cleveland or something like that, you gotta put the foot on the pedal at that point. Keep hitting neighbors over the top. You don't have enough talent to play small ball once you have a lead because you won't keep it.
To finish off the Giants, you had a great day on Sunday. You all have the feels. You're feeling okay. Go out there, beat the friggin' Cowboys. You got abused for them for a long friggin' time. Go out there, beat the boys, and we could really start saying, all right, maybe we do have a team here. Go out there and beat the Cowboys. That's it.
I think a great transition from the Giants to the Jets is who's more on their high horse right now.
Jets.
Okay.
The Jets.
I'm just
The
making sure. I'm
highest.
just making sure with you, Charles.
I'm trying to get to week 4. They're talking confetti.
This
The
is
highest of horses, my friend. Nobody could touch my horse right now. You can't even see my horse. You can see his hooves, but you can't see anything below the belly. That's how high.
Like that attitude right there is extremely concerning to me. I can't believe it. No, I cannot believe that. I cannot. Like, I've talked to some Jet people over the week, and 99.9 of them are just like you.
Mhm.
They are flying. I'm like, bro, the guy ran out opening day last year, stepped onto the field, and something happened that happens to the Jets.
Mhm.
Right? So why do you think that can't happen?
And I'll tell you, so here's the response. Like you said, 99%, I don't doubt that. I would say at least 55 to 60% of that are those a-holes that have been those a-holes for years that will just always do it as soon as we win a game. The other 35% did not see the Jets last week. That was not the New York Jets that butt fumble, the New York Jets that tear Achilles on opening national night. Those were not those Jets, dude. 27 passing first downs. 27 passing first downs. We haven't had 27 completions in the last fucking 4 years in any game. This guy went ridiculous. They play like that. There is a reason why that 35% is speaking in a different tone, including myself. If they play like that, I understand the Patriots are not supposed to be this big competitive Super Bowl contending team. But I know that they come ready to play. If the Jets play like that against teams that are ready to play, I'm not scared of anybody. Mahomes stands my way. The Ravens are 0-3, or 1-2. The Bengals look like crap. The Bills, fine, they beat the Jaguars, big deal. Miami's dead. There is nobody to worry about. So yeah, us Jet fans see a road that we have never seen before, and that guy made throws Thursday night that he looked like it was 2017 again. He didn't miss a step. You know why? Because he had to. You know why? Because he knew it was the Patriots. He knew it was opening night. He knew it was his first game in MetLife. That's what he's going to do all year. He's going to show up.
And he knows the pain of the Jet fans. I heard that in his interview. He's definitely got the feels. Rodgers is damn Hollywood. He's Hollywood, the guy. All right.
For sure.
He's straight up on mushrooms out there. I don't want to hear anybody tell me that I'm wrong. He's microdosing on the field for sure. You could see it in his freaking eyeballs. You could see it in his eyeballs that the dude is microdosing out there. All right. And I just think that Rodgers doesn't realize that the front of the jersey says Jets.
Yeah, I got to agree with Charles on this one. Jet fans really need to be humbled, honestly. If the Pats ever...
I hope it doesn't happen.
The Jets are in the Pats situation that they've been in for the past 20 years now, correct? If we ever got excited over a win against the Jets, we would get abused.
Blow me.
Absolutely
Blow
abused.
me. Get out of here, dude.
We would get abused.
First of all, what? After the 5th time winning the Super Bowl? Yeah, no shit. You talk about beating the Jets in the regular season. You have been our bigger brother forever. Why do you think I'm speaking like this for the last 4 days? This is all we have. But now it looks like we can continue to talk. I can continue to say my BS. Look, I get it. You're hurting.
Damn right.
Honestly,
Andrew, this is a message. I get it. You're hurting. If anybody gets it, it's me. It's us Jet fans. We totally get where you are. You're the New England Jets. Just get used to it. Get used to it.
Until the Jets stop jetting, I will never, ever, ever concede that.
Yeah.
Ever.
Did you say this on the last pod, or did you say this to me personally? Did you say that? Is this how the Mets feel when they beat the Yanks?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's so crazy to me because, like, I'm a Patriots fan, and I know a lot of Patriot fans and a lot of Yankee fans will always throw in that 6 Super Bowls, 27 rings or whatever. I personally never do that. Every year is a freaking new year. So, like, yeah, I'm going into the season expecting, 3 to 5 wins. I really don't have high expectations, and that's around the league. Everyone feels the same. The fact that the Jets, who are an expected top 10 team, are acting like this after they beat a low-level team is blasphemy to me. Absolute.
And I get it. I totally get it. I understand the confusion. You can't understand what the real Jet fans saw against the New England. I don't care if it's Mayo, Belichick's inbred son, if Kraft's on the damn sideline. Doesn't matter. That team runs the same way, and we beat their ass on national television to a bloody pulp. That does not happen for the Jets. It has never happened for the Jets. So that is why we're going to the Super Bowl, baby.
Yeah, like
We're
beating
going
the
to the
Pats
Super
and then
Bowl.
saying we're going to the Super Bowl is
so
the
crazy,
craziest thing to me. It's like it's really like they forgot the first 2 weeks. You guys snuck by the Titans. You guys got killed by the San Francisco 49ers. 1 week happens and you guys are going to the Super Bowl.
The Patriots, who have a win total this season of what?
Beat the Bengals. Bengals are a
How
tough
many games
team.
are they supposed to mean? How many games are they supposed to win?
I don't know, 3 to 5.
That's what I'm saying. But I get it. It's a lot of pain. He's got a lot of pain.
We beat them up. It was right. They're a bad team, right? We beat them up.
Yes, you went out there and you did what you're supposed to do it against the bad team. And you did look like one of the teams that were on a different level than them. That you looked like a different level of a football team. It's just
never been.
Yeah, you're allowed to keep shoveling, but stay humble, motherfucker. Stay humble, dude. Stay within yourself because it's a long season. The Giants just went out there and had a good game. Like anybody could step to you guys and have a good game as well, right?
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Listen, obviously, all seriousness, this game at a time.
Yeah,
there's a lot of excitement, dude, and there's no doubt about it. I'd be lying if I said that wasn't very impressive beyond the scope of you beat a bad team, because it was more to Jet fans than that. Yeah. It really was. And it was more to Patriots fans than that, because it's the Jets and because they're the Patriots, and that's just how it'll always be. We'll see them again. But now you got the Denver Broncos coming to town next week. Then you got the week after that is going to be a showdown, London, 9:30 against the Vikings. So your schedules, and then I think they got the Bills after that. So you're going to start seeing them playing more competitive teams, tougher teams, playoff teams, and we're going to see what happens. But as long as 8 is behind there, it can only get so bad, and that's what I realize now. As long as he's there, I have far less concerns after what he showed me against the Patriots. I really do.
I've seen this before, though, right? I've seen Favre come in and play amazing as a Jet and then get hurt right before the playoffs. I've seen this shit happen. All right. Yeah. But the one thing I will say, all right, is that I don't think you're beating the Jets at home this season. That place looked the Jets, I said.
No, he said that he was right, Andrew. Andrew's trying to correct you. You thought you made a mistake. No, you were correct. He said the Jets.
The next game is
you're not beating the Jets at home this year, Andrew.
I do not think.
Yeah, because the game happened already.
No, nobody is. Nobody is.
Oh, I think
I don't think the Jets lose. I don't think the Jets are losing a home game for the rest of the season.
Yeah, that's absolutely crazy. That's absolutely crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
You could take my word for that.
That is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard.
Charles, they do a hell of a night game for the Jets. Man.
Did you not see that place? It made an ugly stadium look absolutely beautiful.
It was written in the stars. Literally, the last game that Rodgers played in was running out into MetLife Stadium prime time. They didn't get to watch him. This was only like that because of that.
Did you not just hear this kid? Did you not just hear him speak? That's the way there's 70,000 people speaking at once. Do you know the power that until they get humbled, like you said, in that building, they're going to be on that same high horse from that game against the Patriots for the rest of the season at home.
Oh, I guarantee they'll be on the high horse, but I mean,
until they get humbled, it's just that high horse is just going to keep.
So you think the crowd just being loud is going to win them every home game? Then Seattle would never lose a game.
No, I'm just telling you. I just feel like the luck is there. The tables.
So the Jets are lucky. They're not good. They're lucky.
The tables have turned. I'm just saying that I feel that they're not going to lose a home game. That the place was amazing, and they're gonna be a very tough game at home.
So all of a sudden, MetLife Stadium became the loudest stadium in the NFL.
At
Good
the
to know.
moment, name me another game that has played so far that has been louder and looked as crazy as that game did in MetLife.
I didn't watch every single game, but I mean, every single primetime game is like that.
Okay. You're right. You're right.
It was a little bit more because of the picture I painted. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
it's that one game that it's gonna feel like that.
Yeah.
Not
No,
every game is prime time under the lights.
I made a statement. Take it or freaking leave it. I see new followers that I've been following for years are all of a sudden posting that they got season tickets. There's a new group of people in there as well. The old people are there, and the new people are buying in as we speak. The Rogers people are buying in as we speak.
Oh,
And
yeah.
if
There
he's
was
on
a
the field,
lot of Packer 12 jerseys in that stadium on Thursday.
there was.
There were a lot of Packer. Yeah, I was sitting next to one. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
100% for sure. There were a lot of Packer. There were a lot of Rogers fans that just kind of accumulate and follow him around.
Rogers was just like your Tom Brady. He was that guy around the league. It wasn't just Packer fans that loved Rogers. It was players from around the league.
Yeah, as Drew's first round draft pick, Rogers is the GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
Greatest of all time.
Yeah, he fixed that statement, but it's all good.
What do you guys got for week 4 now?
You go ahead, Mike.
Week 4, we got the Broncos, 1:00. They come into town. So thankfully, Bo Nix is still at the helm because I really did not want to verse Zach Wilson in MetLife because that just reads recipe for disaster. So hopefully continue it, man. Get it going. The same rules apply though. You got to beat up Denver. Denver's not a good team. I don't want to dogfight Denver like we dogfighted Tennessee. If you do, fine, whatever. The wins are what counts. But let's beat up Denver. Like, prove what you are. Let's beat up Denver. Keep the good times rolling, baby.
Yeah. But before I go into my matchup, I actually had a quick question for you. You brought up Zach Wilson, so I have to ask: are you a little bit petty about Sam Darnold and Geno Smith this year?
No. So Sam Darnold, I'm actually the only. I think he's like the very few, or maybe only the only Jet quarterback that I'm not petty about because I really did love Sam Darnold, and I really do believe that Sam Darnold actually could play quality football, and I'm glad he's finally in a spot where he can. Geno feels like he wasn't even a Jet. Geno feels like a Giant to me. It was so long ago that like when we had him, but no, I don't like these other quarterbacks moving on and proving that they're very good because it just proves the fact that everyone knows and all of us Jet fans know, which is that the system is wrong. The Jets system is wrong. That's just kind of the way it goes. The good thing is we finally made the move to fix the issue, which is the only move you can make, which is just buy the system, aka Aaron Rodgers. So the system no longer applies. But for the longest time, anybody we would bring in, and I feel this way, and I'll talk about it later in my fantasy thing, Bryce Young in Carolina, same deal. Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, they move on, and these guys are now playing, elite football. So what's the problem? Is it Carolina? You know what I mean? Sometimes these systems just do not work.
Yeah, I mean, like to your point, and it's just like the ongoing theme within the NFL. It just seems like so many rookie quarterbacks nowadays they just throw them out in like right away. And then like you said, the Jets didn't have a great offensive line. They didn't have weapons, so the guy could never honestly get it out. Same thing with Mac Jones. I'm not saying Mac Jones would have been anything good, but he was put in a really bad system in a really bad way, and that's why he crumbled. So right. I mean,
no, it's an absolute truth for sure. But like I said, some systems do better than others. But that's why a lot of people are saying there's Jalen Hurts. I think a lot of quarterbacks could succeed in that Eagles offense, maybe even better than he does. But these are questions you can't really answer.
Yeah, for sure. Well, week 405, the Patriots will be beating the Jets' week 1 opponent, the San Francisco 49ers. At home.
In New England?
No. At their home.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Did I hear that right? He just went to say that the Jets need to be humbled and all this stuff, and now he's guaranteeing a win against the freaking second best team in the game.
Second best team. I don't know if you've been watching, but they're hurting.
They're still the 49ers.
They need to win too, desperately. So they're going to put up a fight.
49ers, they're playing good.
Well, we're both 1-2. So as of this season right now, we're pretty equivalent.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that. You don't speak really that way either, which is a little concerning as well.
He's pissed.
I think
he's pissed off.
Yeah, I don't know if this talk thing is getting him to really start.
Well, my point is,
he's pissed.
So no. So this goes back to the Jets being on their high horse. Not only are the fans freaking saying that the Jets are going to the Super Bowl, but the Jet fans all saying the Patriots are like the worst team in the NFL, and forgot our first 2 weeks. We won in Cincinnati, and went into OT with the undefeated Seahawks. So like, I that is my only point. No, I don't really believe that we're going to beat the 49ers.
You just had a lot of come at you.
Nah, I'm just trolling. But but it like you said before, it's any given Sunday, and the Pats are playing good games minus the game last week.
When Mayo's getting his books ready, right? He doesn't think he's going to lose the game, right? They're preparing to win the game.
But I hate that he keeps saying that they would. Like, why did you lose last week? You weren't prepared?
No, I started off the podcast saying that our scheme was totally wrong.
Really,
the Jets outsmarted. Mayo's inexperienced. This is his first year as the head coach, and he totally got outcoached. Totally.
And Rodgers reading defense.
I brought up Rodgers. I mean, Rodgers basically runs the offense. He saw the off coverage and used it to his advantage.
No, thank God you guys did that, pod, or else this one would have been like 2.5 hours long.
Right? All right, let's get into some more fun topics like fantasy.
Oh, you're done with the Pats? That's it? That's all you got? I don't want to say that we rushed you out of the Patriots. This is your time. You're good.
Yeah, we had an episode last week. I'm good.
You talked so you're just guaranteeing a win.
Exactly. We are beating the San Francisco 49ers in San Francisco.
Okay. I need a Patriots butt fumble more than I need my next breath of air next week.
All right, but it's definitely a fan favorite. It's time for the Fantasy Feud. Surveying 100 people. Name a fantasy player who you should look to trade week 4. This is huge. Mike?
All right. This week I'm going with the guy that you should be trading away in week 4, which is J.K. Dobbins. All right. I know, look, the stat line has been great thus far. He's put up a lot of points. He's got over 100 yards the first 2 weeks. He started to kind of keel back in week 3, and I think that's what he's going to be doing moving forward. Herbert went down again with that ankle injury. Joe Alt, their tackle, who has been absolutely incredible this year, he went down with an MCL. He's going to miss a few weeks. I think you start to see Dobbins kind of slow down because they're going to stack the box on the Chargers. Beyond that, they still have Gus Edwards. So, there's a chance that Gus takes his snaps or takes his carries at some point. And if you don't believe me with all of that, J.K. Dobbins gets hurt a lot. So there's a chance that he doesn't even make it to week 17 or week 18 beyond those other factors. So right now, his trade value is high. I say get rid of Dobbins in week 4.
Yeah, and just to show how humble I am, Ramondre Stevenson. Stevenson has 3 fumbles in the first 3 weeks. Not only that, he did get a little banged up in against the Jets. He might have fractured his pinky getting stuck in a face mask. But not only that, teams obviously see that Jacoby Brissett has no time to throw in the pocket. I think we have the second worst offensive line in the league right now. And they're just going to continually stack the box and not let this guy go anywhere.
Question 2, surveying 100 people. Fantasy of fantasy. Name a player who you think would have more fantasy value if they went to another team.
Ooh, all right. For my fantasy of a fantasy pick, I'm going with Bryce Young. And the reason is what I was going into earlier. I think the Panthers system is broken. I think Darnold moved on and did good things. I think Mayfield moved on and did good things. I think Dalton did good things last week because he's Andy Dalton. He's this generation's Fitzpatrick. He's an experienced guy. He'll come in wherever he pleases. He'll throw 4 touchdowns one week and then 4 interceptions the next. I don't think Carolina has a good system in place for a quarterback position. I think Bryce Young is someone who, if he went to Miami to replace Tua, or he went really anywhere, he's got the legs. He obviously he comes from a renowned college program. He's played all of the competitive teams to play in that phase of it. There's no way he can't play real good football. I'm seeing what Jaden Daniels is doing on a fantasy value. I think Bryce Young could easily do that if he was just with another team.
That's a good one. Mine would be Devontae Adams. I think Devontae Adams could be a top 3 wide receiver in the league every single year. Unfortunately, he does have Gardner Minshew throwing him the ball. I'm not saying that Gardner Minshew doesn't make big plays, because there's some games where he looks like the best quarterback in the NFL, but he's not going to be consistent. Devontae Adams, once again, you see him on the sideline, really pissed off. He looks like he does not want to be there. So, and if he went to a team with a good quarterback, I see him his value rising.
Like the Jets?
The Jets is obviously the obvious. Do they have room though?
No.
Yeah. So I mean, the obvious answer where he wouldn't be really happy in the beginning, but maybe if the rookie quarterback starts getting the ball more and we have the most cap space in the league,
move on to the next
coming
question.
to New England.
Move on to the next question. I can't listen.
Before I actually move on to the next question, I just want to let the fans know that these two guys are sitting at the top of their fantasy leagues week in and week out for years. I've been a donator for a very long time, and I know a lot of you that are listening to this right now have been fantasy donators for a really long time. Take the advice. I promise you it'll pay off. Question 3. Name the best fantasy player of all time.
I love this question. There is a lot to dive into. Let's give a little background real quick. 1977, fantasy football started, I believe. The Oakland Raiders owner at the time got into a New York City hotel room with 10 of his buddies and started the first fantasy football league. In 1997, internet kicked off, booming. CBS dropped their first thing. 1999 to 2001 was your best fantasy player of all time, which is Marshall Faulk. The guy was ridiculous. Not a lot of people realize it because it wasn't as big as it is now, or even was in 05 or 06 or those years. But Marshall Faulk's stat lines were absolutely incredible. And if you compare them to today's format with PPRs and this not, in 1999, the guy had 1,300 yards rushing and 1,000 yards receiving, 12 touchdowns combined. 2000, he had 26 touchdowns on 1,400 yards rushing. He was averaging 35 points per game. It was something ridiculous. And to have that in someone's league now, it would put an end to the season after like week 2. It would be done.
Yeah, and I'm going to take it back all the way. I mean, I think me and Mike have been doing fantasy football for probably around like 20 years now. And I just remember when we first started, the guy to get was LaDainian Tomlinson. Yep. This guy was a touchdown machine. There was one season in 06, his famous year, where he had 31 touchdowns. This guy scored 481 points in a single season. This guy arguably had the greatest fantasy season ever. And, yep, that's my guy.
That was really
untouchable.
That was really good. All right, Mike, you think you could do it again? Do you think you could do it again? Because it's time for Mike's fastest fantasy minute of your life. I knew I was going to fumble that one day.
All right, clocks are out.
What are you doing, Backbone? Do you have a clock, or do you need me to clock?
I'll clock.
Are you a clock? All right. So countdown.
On you, Mike.
Getting it going in 3, 2. What's up, everybody? This is Mike from Bayonne. I'm back with the fastest fantasy football minute of your life. Let's get right into it. Week 4, 3 players. QB spot, give me Daniel Jones. I know, but settle down. He's got 20 plus fantasy points 2 weeks in a row now. What he did against the Browns was pretty damn astounding, and they got the Cowboys on a short week. I think Daniel Jones continues to get it done with his arm as well as his legs. Running back spot, give me Chuba Hubbard. The Red Rifle is back, and this time he's in Carolina blue, baby. Andy Dalton is giving life to all Carolina Panthers positional players. Chuba Hubbard is no different, 170 yards and a touchdown last week. They have the Bengals this week, which could be a Red Rifle revenge game. Plus, this is your last week probably to get Chuba Hubbard in your lineup because Jonathan Brooks, that rookie, is debuting soon. Wide receiver spot, give me Christian Watson. completely contingent on the fact that Jordan Love plays, given that Malik Willis, I don't even think he realizes Watson's on the same team. But if Jordan Love plays, it's a big-time divisional game against the Vikings. I think Watson is still that big splash go-to guy for that team, so I expect a couple highlights from him on Sunday. Time. Dang, it's 102?
Yeah, I felt like you were a little laggy there.
I know.
You started to slow down right at the end.
I know. It's because I said Daniel Jones. I knew he was going to throw it all off.
That was fantastic.
I'll get back next week.
Yes, Mike. We're signing off of Mike.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week. And go Jets, baby. Stay high.
Go Jets. Stay humble. Stay high.
Stay humble.
And it's time for the son of a bitch of the week.
Oh, I was not right.
You son of a bitch!
You son of a bitch!
You son of a bitch!
Son of a bitch of the week. Go ahead, Andrew.
My son of the bitch of the week. I wish I should have brought up this interview, but Patrick Mahomes, I feel like I'm always going back to the Chiefs because I really do hate them. But Patrick Mahomes just saying that Travis Kelce can't break a double team. That's why he's not getting the ball, blah, 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 blah. I watched the greatest tight end of all time. This guy, no matter what, was getting double teamed. I've seen him get triple teamed. Robert Gronkowski, I'm obviously talking about. It's just absolute like a double team. Travis Kelce, he's like 6'7". You could put the ball wherever you want on this guy. Nobody's jumping over him. I don't know. I just think that Patrick Mahomes is just doing a little crying right now.
Yeah, that's that you're not alone. You're not alone in the hate for the Kansas City Chiefs and Taylor Swift and Kelce and all that comes with them.
Yeah,
you're not alone. You're definitely not alone. My son of the bitch of the week, since I was 2 for 2, I figured to take a week off of sports because there's one person out there that is literally the son of a bitch of the week, and that is Sean John Combs. No more Puff Daddy, okay? Because that name is actually a little bit creepy now because you had a lot of people calling you daddy for a long, long time. And the stuff and the allegations that have came out about Diddy is absolutely sickening. Listen, being an adult, okay, there's always those freak parties. There's always those places, right? There's glory hole places. Drive down 3rd Avenue in Brooklyn. You're going to see the video stores. There's freaky people out there, and I'll never hold you to any of that, all right? Live your life, okay? But you are recording it. There is children involved. It sounds like you are literally the piece of shit of the planet. And you're not ruining because you're not the only one, but you're adding now to those lists of people that I actually really liked, okay, in that industry, in all industries, that the millennial, a lot of people that they look up to kind of sucked as people. Okay. And that goes to a Michael Jackson, who is a child molester, and a Hulk Hogan, who is a steroid abuser that kids looked up to. Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa, Alex Rodriguez, all people that could have been son of a bitch of the week back then. And you are now on that list forever. Your name is shot. Kanye's stock is way up. You all called him crazy, but ye was right. You was right, everybody. Like, that's true. That is true. Okay. And I just feel like you definitely killed Biggie now. All that stuff back in the day that you put the sticker on his car and all that stuff. You are definitely a piece of shit. I hope that you go away for a long time. And I'm still gonna listen to your music because it's good music and it's part of my history of my life, right? Like I still listen to Michael Jackson and I'll still listen to their music, but now I have to listen to it and know that you're a piece of shit. You're my son of a bitch of the week.
Yep. And I agree. I couldn't say anything more to that. I totally agree.
All right, it's time for Talk React. douche, 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 douche. You think they were playing that at the Diddy parties?
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh my God, all the videos are coming out about that. It's so funny.
So sick. It's not funny though. Like, yeah, we always turn really horrific things into memes. It's like part of the American culture at this moment that everything that's so bad becomes a meme, right?
Yeah, it's funny when it's uncomfortable, at least in my opinion.
It's
I always
definitely
I always laugh when I get uncomfortable.
I was just sitting there and I'm just thinking, like, all the people I looked up to, dude, for a very, very long time just sucked. Just
Oh,
sucked.
I know.
It's so sad. It's so sad.
It
But
really is crazy.
what do you got for me?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to bring up Jaden Daniels, but we already spoke about him, so I won't bring up Jaden Daniels. But did you hear what Brett Favre announced today?
A little bit of it, and it's definitely saddening. You have a video?
I don't have a video. I do have a video. I just want to summarize it real quick though. Basically, he did have a lawsuit in 2022, I believe, something about like peddling funds to like some charities or something like that. And he just announced today that he had Parkinson's and
He had or has?
Has. Did I say had? Yeah,
Yeah.
he has Parkinson's. And I believe that he was trying to use those funds maybe because they said that he was donating it somewhere. So I'm thinking that he was using those funds to probably help out, like, Parkinson's people, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But very sad day. Whether or not Brett Favre did something wrong, it definitely is something sad. So
Yeah, no, very
wanted to
sad.
bring it
Very
up.
sad. I seen what kind of like meeting was that? Like that
He was
like,
yeah, I think
it almost looked like it was in a courtroom, right?
yeah, I think he was testifying about the lawsuit, I believe.
Okay. With
I
some
think that
got
I
it.
think that's why he had to bring it up and everything.
God, I'm sorry to
But
the audience if you hear me sniffing or my nose is leaking.
and
Not on drugs.
and then the last thing is something personal to me because I've been doing just like a lot of research, watching a lot of different podcasts, and it's honestly just about health and big pharma.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not bringing politics into this because I could care less to talk about politics.
Uh-huh.
But let's listen to what RFK here says about Ozempic.
As everyone knows, once a drug is approved for Medicare, it goes to Medicaid. And there is a push to recommend Ozempic for Americans as young as 6 over a condition, obesity, that is completely preventable and barely even existed 100 years ago. Since 74% of Americans are obese, the cost of all of them, if they take their Ozempic prescriptions, will be $3 trillion a year. This is a drug that has made Novo Nordisk the biggest company in Europe. It's a Danish company, but the Danish government does not recommend it. It recommends a change in diet to treat obesity and exercise. Virtually Novo Nordisk's entire value is based upon its projections of what Ozempic is going to sell to Americans. For half the price of Ozempic, we could purchase regeneratively raised organic agriculture, or organic food for every American, 3 meals a day, and gym membership for every obese American. Why are members of Congress doing the bidding of this Danish company instead of standing up for American farmers and children?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impactful.
I wanted to show that because I mean, honestly, like it's so sad how like we're just pushing agendas out here because people just want to put $1 in their own pocket. It really is. A company is selling Americans a drug that they don't even recommend to their own people. Like, and like he said, I think half of the budget that was spent on Ozempic could be given every single family 3 organic meals and a gym membership.
It's unbelievable. It really is. But as Americans, it's not. It's you. There's a laundry list of. I don't think ketchup has a certain ingredient in the UK that we have here that preserves.
And they're like different colors and stuff. Like
yeah, there is like so many different things that they sell us here, and they don't in other countries that produce it. Right. So it's very, very alarming. And that's part of that's part of this hopeful movement that we are hoping for in the next president of the United States. Bringing in RFK opened up a lot of eyes to this entire situation, because that's all he wants to do, right? Is to improve our health as a country. How can all of us be so obese? How many people do I just single-handedly know that are on Ozempic? Right?
Yeah.
Take that clutch. But years ago, I was in high school. I took something called Xenadrin. It was a drug that it was a pill. It was over the
Fat burner.
Yeah, it was a fat burner, and then they took out the ephedra in it. Ephedra became a serious thing. It was all over baseball, actually, as well. I lost a serious amount of weight in high school on ephedra. We all, as Americans, we look for those clutches,
Shortcuts. Yeah.
those shortcuts, clutch, shortcut,
Yeah, definitely.
right? So it is a little bit alarming when this guy just told us that they're not even. Didn't he just say they're not giving it out in Europe?
And yeah, and not Danish.
That's
wherever the Danish are.
that's unbelievable, though, and it is very alarming, and I'm happy you brought up
that just goes to show you. I mean, it's the same thing with freaking TikTok in China. Like, TikTok in China is completely different. They're peddling a product that will get Americans addicted, and they don't even do it to their own people. So, wake the freak up, America.
It's true. I think Florida, some one of these states, just passed a no cell phone bill in schools up until 2026.
I like that. I don't know how well that. What are they just going to? They're
gonna do the bags that you like.
Oh, like the comedy shows.
Yeah, like the comedy shows.
Yeah, and then I guess like if they need an emergency, somebody has like a key or something to lock it. Every teacher probably something like that. That's interesting.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Definitely. All right, man. Well, that wraps it up the show. Don't forget, I haven't said this in a few episodes. Just gamble responsible, everybody. It's that time of year again. There's the most money being gambled right now up until the Super Bowl and any other time of the year. Just stay alert. Don't, make sure your family's fed before you go out there and place your next bet. All right. Go Mets, go Yanks. You heard me correct. Go Mets, go Mets, go Mets. Go Yanks, go get it done. Giants, Jets, Pats, all get it together so we could be in happy moods. All right, fellas, we'll see you next time. See you.